I'm here with Bill Klein, the co-founder of Emerge Sales, who has more than 15 years of experience working for multi-million-dollar companies. Hi, Bill.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are
Thank you for meeting with us.
Sure.
All right, could you tell us a little about your company?
Sure. Emerge was founded about 5 years ago by my partner and I. We came up with the concept originally, a few years before that, where we were helping companies like 3M and Siemens Healthcare with expediting the sales process. Basically, we were doing prospecting and sales process optimization for them. We noticed that instead of working as a distributor that did this just for specific companies that we were aligned with, we could do this for all companies. So we came up with a solution where we can offer it to startup companies and to big companies alike. Our roster of clients now ranges from people like GE Healthcare and Covidien to small startups that haven't brought their products to market yet. Basically, the concept is we provide services such as consulting work, which is reorganization, sales structure, inside sales team training, outside sales team training, as well as lead generation and other marketing services, database hygiene, fun stuff like that.
What is the most useful marketing tip you've learned over the years?
Well, I guess the most useful marketing tip that I've gleaned from experience has been to never stop prospecting. The one thing that every sales manager always does, and it's a bad habit, is ask their sales rep, well, why are the numbers down today? As if today has anything to do with what they did today. What it has to do with is what they did 3 months ago. Oftentimes what happens is a business or a salesperson judges their day by the sales revenue that comes in, and therefore they relax because they're proud of what they had accomplished. But realistically, the work that they had put into that particular sales effort happened 3 months ago when they started to foster that relationship. So the biggest thing I would say is never stop prospecting. Keep it consistent.
Okay. And what makes a business stand out from its competitors, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the biggest thing that makes a business stand out from its competitors is customer service. Everybody can offer a similar widget. Everybody can offer a similar service. But the touch to the customer, the way you make them feel, the dependence that they have on you, that they're relying on you for that particular service or that product, is really the interaction that they have. They have no other basis to understand whether or not your product or service is better. So customer support and their reliance on you and trust in you is of the utmost importance.
So do you think that training your employees to give outstanding customer service should be one of the biggest factors, or should you bring in people that are already really great at customer service? Or?
Well, there's two different schools of thought, in my opinion, of finding the right person to build a team. Number one is motivation, and motivation is something you can't really train. You either have the drive in you or you don't. Mm-hmm. Most of the train type stuff, things like filling out paperwork in a timely fashion and being attentive to detail, those types of things you can pretty much train just about anybody that wants to get into your business. However, being motivated and also being personable are two things that are really, really hard to train someone to do. So if you don't have the resources internally and you have to look to the outside world, unfortunately now's a great time to go out and look for new talent, because there are a lot of people out there that are hungry for jobs. Mm-hmm. So as much as it's a detriment to people that are sitting at home and looking for a position, there are a lot of great people out there to get into your company and to make part of your team. So
what was your biggest career move so far?
I would say that the biggest move that I had made was going from taking a paycheck working for a company to owning my own company. When I first embarked on an entrepreneurial career, I had left an organization that was publicly traded. I was the director of sales for one of their divisions. I was managing multiple millions of dollars, and I had a sales force of about 15 representatives, customer service people, operations facilities all around the country. And it was very easy to show up and do your job. Now, you take a step back and you start from scratch, where you have to cash flow yourself, you have to pay for all your employees' salaries. They're depending on you. And that big step is a load of responsibility that I didn't have in the past. So I wasn't just responsible for me, but I was also responsible for everybody that worked for me.
And so that must be a tough transition.
I would say that it was definitely a tough transition. It was a fun one. My partner and I started out of my house, actually. So we built the business.
And this is Emerge.
This is Emerge.
Okay.
When I left, I was working for a company called Invacare. When I left Invacare and we started Emerge, we started the idea 5 years and 3 weeks ago. And we started it over the phone. We incorporated. We went through some minutia and finally came up with the idea of starting it in my home. And by the time we left my house, I had 9 people working in my home. They were showing up at 8 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 6 o'clock at night. My front lawn looked like a used car lot. It was absolutely hysterical. People were eating cheese out of my fridge on break. I didn't understand that very much, but it was an interesting experience, and it was a lot of fun. It was very exciting. So, as much as there were challenges there was a level of excitement that I hadn't felt before.
It's an adventure to start a new business.
Yeah.
So, do you have any words of wisdom to give to other business owners or anyone in marketing?
Sure. My advice is don't give up. One of the bigger problems that a lot of startup companies have is that they prejudge their failure, their demise. And I think a lot of people have great ideas, and it's a matter of following through on them to see them to fruition and watch them grow. So don't give up on that dream of owning your own business, and at the same time, make smart moves. Don't go crazy. Don't spend all the money that you get in from your first check. Assume that it's going to be a while before you get your next one, and make sure that you're still there tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time and meeting with us.
My pleasure.